to another segment of the Hidden Tears of a Black Male. For those of you who are watching this channel for the first time, it is the title, The Hidden Tears of a Black Male, is from my book, The Hidden Tears of a Black Male. However, you can also say it's the hidden tears of any male. I talked to a young lady who had purchased this book. No, it was given to her. I gave it to her to look over, and she told me that she recognized her boyfriend behavior in my book, and also she saw herself in my book. So it can go both ways. A female can learn from it. Another race can learn from it. So the Hidden Tears of a Black Male is about shedding the light on their various stories from other males or even females that may have a story that people can learn from and benefit from, and hopefully they will go on with a better understanding of themselves. So I decided to promote my book and share various stories from the book and various stories that is given to me, in hope that it would cause the individual to begin to look at themselves and see what they need to do. Excuse me. And when they realize that they need help, they will seek out professional counseling. I have wrote a series of 10 books, and I have many more to come. You can visit my website, HeStillSpeaksNowListen.org, or you can type in The Hidden Tears of a Black Male into the YouTube channel. And also I have another website with various videos. You can type in Anthony Milton, or you can put in HeStillSpeaksNowListen.org into the YouTube channel, and you will see the various videos. If you like what you see, please subscribe, share it, and make a comment, and send it to your friend. Allow them to have the opportunity to receive answers from what they may be experiencing. I was thinking about my books, and I realized that out of all the books I have wrote, 3 of them stand out that could apply to this country in the last 8 years and even now. I know, weird, because one may say I just wrote the book but no, I wrote it many, many years ago. So this particular book was recently written. If I'm correct, this was written 2017. But what I'm going to talk about is 2 other books. I did talk about them earlier in the YouTube video on HeStillSpeaksNowListen.org. And this particular book is From the Eyes of a Cop, Black Lives Matter. From the Eyes of a Cop, Black Lives Matter. I struggled to put this book together, and I'll tell you why. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I was hearing about police officers shooting people for no reason because they're black and whatever. And I was sitting looking at the television and hearing people say this and that, and listening to what I have experienced myself did not line up with what people are saying. So I wrote a particular passage on what I felt and what I experienced, and then I put it on the shelf. And then a year later, I decided to, the Black Lives Matter group came on the scene, and I thought about writing a book entitled From the Eyes of a Cop, Black Lives Matter. You may think that I'm saying, oh, Black Lives Matter only, but no, I have a twist in this particular book. A twist, a catchy title, but it has truth and facts. And I will be discussing this book more in the next video. But what I want to get to now is the particular book that I wrote back in 2005. Yes, 2012. I started off writing this particular book. No, I started off with a question that entered my mind. And like always, I would just sit down and write down things, certain things, and put my notes together. And then I decided that that was enough. And I ended up doing like 5 pages. And then it kept bugging me to go any further. And then news stories started popping up on the TV show and radio show that I would listen to. And I decided to dig deep into my thoughts. And when I finished the book, it turned out to be 189 pages. This book is called The Seed of Zeus, Fighting Against the Spiritual Seed of God. I'm not going to get very deep into the book, but it's a very helpful book. I describe the book as being put into a bottle, tossed into the ocean, someone find it and read and discover, wow, this is what this country was founded on, and this is what this country is experiencing, and this is what this country is going through now. Because it will be more of an eye-opener for the reader who purchased this book. I recall asking, I always, like, sometimes I ask a particular person, where do our laws come from? And 99% of the time, people will say, our laws come from the government. The government. But what they did not know until I reveal it to them, and what I'm going to share with you, is that our laws originate from the Creator. Before you and I or anyone, humanity, step foot on this earth, the laws was already here in the spiritual world, figure of speech. Humanity came into existence, and the laws were given to humanity, how to behave, what to do, what to think, how to respond. And people right now have decided to do what's right in their own eyes. But let me back up for a moment. Before you and I was conceived, before you and our family tree, before any physical human being stepped foot on this earth existed. So yes, when they say the laws come from the government, yes, government do pass laws, but they are in opposition against the Creator laws. But even the laws that the government pass does not erase what the Creator say to do and how to respond. When we as individuals decide that we are above the law, no matter who we are, because of our money, color of our skin, our property, or whomever, we gonna reap what we sow. In today's society now, if those of you who follow the news, those of you who don't follow the news, I must admit, when I was growing up, and I didn't want to read a book because I said it had nothing in it for me. But then I woke up and said that was a stupid thought. Why it was stupid? Because if somebody want to hide something from me, they could put it in a book. And guess what? I won't know. So I begin to start reading. And then I start researching. And then I start looking at things that make me go, why? Why is this being said? Why is this being done? When we as individuals refuse to read, refuse to do our homework, refuse to put ourselves in our own self-imposed box because we say it doesn't pertain to me, that's wrong. Indirectly, it does pertain to us. When we allow individuals to pass laws that are in opposition against the Creator laws, and we welcome the law, we partake of the law, we behave accordingly because the law gave us permission to do something in opposition against the Creator law, we're going to experience the judgment from our behavior. You can live in New York or Los Angeles or anywhere in the United States of America, and if you agree with what has been passed by our government without researching yourself, then you will see and you will experience the judgment of that law. There's no time in the spirit. We can experience the sowing and reaping judgment from disobedience, or our children or their children. Justice must have its recompense. So when I begin to look at, and then there's no opposition. When I read and studied this information, I was saying there's no opposition. You look at any local news media or national news media, or listen to what the politicians are saying, and then you say, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. That does not make sense. And in doing so, it causes you to wonder and say, why? Why is it going on this way? Why is people behaving this way? Because there's no opposition. And when the church remain quiet and don't speak up, then people are doing what they want to do in their own eyes. Here's a quick homework for you. When I was a law enforcement officer in the state of Georgia, there are laws on the books that govern my behavior. The state give me the authority to arrest with probable cause based on circumstances and whatever. Every law in the state of Georgia can be found in the Creator book, the Bible. You can be an atheist, that's fine. You can be whatever, that's fine. But our disbelief does not change what spiritual law says. And because of our ignorance, my ignorance of not wanting to read, and because of not knowing, as some people don't know where our laws originate from, we can be easily seduced into believing anything. For example, the laws on the books say in Georgia, and I'll go back, let me say this again. Whatever state you live in, do a Google search or go in the public library and look at the laws that govern that state or govern the local police department, and you will see laws on the books that are enforced and some are not. And I'll throw out a few for Georgia. If a person has sex with a dead body, that is a law. You can be arrested. If a person has sex with their children, that is a law. You can be arrested. If a person who's married has sex with another woman, that's called adultery. They can be arrested. And here's the kicker. A person who's not married and has sex with another person, that is called fornication. You can be arrested. A person who masturbates, a person who prostitutes themselves, a person who into whatever you can think of, it's a law. A law in the state of Georgia, and I'm quite sure it's a law in your town and city and state. But where did those laws originate from? From the Creator Handbook, the Word of God, the Bible. And in my particular book here, you will see I have a chapter where it show you verse by verse, not verse by verse, it show you the law that I just mentioned and other laws and where you can find it in the Word of God. And by knowing that, for example, I can give you, let me give you a few what's in the table of contents. I have civil authority, civil justice procedures, life and death, sexual immorality, labor laws, liability laws, moral laws, marriage and divorce, responsible toward man, responsible toward God and other individuals. There are military laws, there are health laws, there are sanitation and cleanliness laws. There are all sorts of laws that's in the Word of God. This book, you can do your own homework. In the back chapter, I have multiple references that you can research yourself, or you can type your own question that may pop in your mind. That we are living in a time that we must know what to do, what to say at the appropriate time. When we are doing what we want in our own eyes, when we are saying what I think, what I feel, what I believe, this should happen. If it goes against this, if it goes against the Word of God, and we refuse to investigate it ourselves, then we have actually said to the Creator that my wants, belief, what I feel, what I think, and how things should happen is because why? Because of me, not Him. And here's another kick I'm gonna throw out to you. When justice is running wild, you call 911 to hopefully to bring law and order back. When man has become ungovernable, unmanageable, or out of control, doing their own thing in the eyes of whomever, where there's no law and order, who will intervene to put an end to it? Go back to the beginning. If our Creator closes his eyes and refuses to think about us, you and I will drop dead instantly. Justice must take its course. We as individuals must come back to understand that we did not create it ourselves. It's not about you and me and what we think and feel and believe. It's what the Creator, as you know him to be, demand of you. There are many religions on this earth. And if you really do your research, you'll see that a lot of religion have a lot of biblical belief. There are truths to what they're saying. But we as individuals, some of us as individuals, refuse to even investigate and see if what they are saying is right. A time will come that you will choose. Choose this day, who shall you serve? Should you serve what you think, feel, want, and believe, and what you think should happen? Or should you serve the Creator as you know him to be, to do what he wants you to do and say at the appropriate time? It is my wish that you would take an opportunity to go and order this book. You can order it from me, or you can order it from createspace.com or amazon.com. And I think, if I haven't looked at it recently, they have a function where you can look at the book and they let you look at and read certain chapters. I think that's activated. But this is a good book for anyone. If I had not wrote it myself, and because the way I'm thinking now, I will welcome this book of understanding, because it's nothing wrong with listening to someone, because you may gain something from listening to that person. You can add it on. It's like an onion. What you know now and what you learn, you put it together, you call it into question, and you say, that doesn't make sense. But a lot of us refuse to change. We refuse to change our belief because it's about us, what we think, what we feel, what we believe. And we refuse to say, the God as I know him to be, is what I'm hearing the truth? Is this is from you, or this is not from you? And when you have not been taught, or you have no knowledge, where did our laws originate from, then I have captured you. I can seduce you. I can tell you anything to stir you up. You have become my slave on my plantation of ideas and belief. And when you decide to think for yourself, you escape from my plantation. But how do I get you back? I get you back with lies and accusation to make you come back to me. You have put yourself on my plantation ideas and belief. So begin to call into question and say, why, who benefits from this or that? Should I be led astray because of my thinking, or what I want, what I feel, what I believe, and what I feel should happen? Because we did not create ourselves. We all have a purpose on this earth. Some people will get married, have children, do what they want to do, and die. That's their choice. Then there are others out there that decide that they have more to offer to society. So I'm offering you an opportunity to wake up, you who are spiritual asleep, and begin. It's like the old saying, the thought came to my mind is, if I don't read this, if I don't listen to you, the truth, then I'm not held accountable, because I can keep doing what I'm doing. But if you heard the truth, if you heard something that's different from what you believe, and you refuse to investigate it and do as you want and say as you behave, if you refuse to investigate what you are hearing from anyone, because you are afraid that if you find out the truth, you will have to stop doing what you're doing, then you have actually judged yourself, and you will experience the judgment. Because guess what? You refuse to say, Is that the truth? What's wrong with just investigating it and see if it's the truth? If it's the truth, so it's the truth. You will have a choice to do it or not do it. But to not even investigate it because you are afraid that because of your husband, your spouse, or your job, or whomever, because you will have to quit doing what you're doing, then guess what? You have judged yourself, not me, not the creator, you. So now you have heard today a short exhortation about where our laws come from, man, that are in opposition, and our laws originate from the creator. And when no one is speaking and telling the truth, then people are doing what is right in their own eyes. So I ask you today, think about what I'm saying. I have no power to make you do anything. I'm just giving you the information and you can do whatever you want to. Those of us who are in a position of authority, we are not above the law. We can do as we please. We can get rich. We can do whatever. But judgment will fall on us, our children or their children. It's like leaving the last will and testament. You don't leave a physical will of money and property. You leave a last will and testament, which is something I wrote already, of spiritual sins and spiritual sowing and spiritual judgment upon your loved one. So think about what I'm saying to you. As I mentioned earlier, if you like what you heard, like the channel, subscribe to it, make a comment, and share with others. And it'll be a pleasure, God willing, that I'll be before you next time to bring you another thought, inspiring, provoking topic. Have a nice day.